now?
Yes, sir. Now you're on.
Thank you for such an elaborate description. I think a lot of details you have brought into the tray. And first of all, my greetings to all the eminent speakers so far. And I think I'm the last one, and I hope there is still listeners left because it is, almost lunchtime, as Professor Sir was mentioning. So over the period of last 20 years into IT, I have started from an operations guy in Delhi Stock Exchange, and I have done development, delivered projects, and done solution architecting. And now, as it goes on, I am doing agile coaching for multiple projects within the organization. So what I will, why I reiterated it, the last 20 years, within the IT industries, I have seen the change in the way things have worked from a delivery perspective. And I am going to talk more from a delivery perspective because uh, so far what I have been hearing is research based things which are very, people with fantastic brains, brilliant mind in terms of mathematics, in terms of artificial intelligence, uh, cloud computing, and whatnot. But at the end of the day, there is a small developer who delivers, and India being the portal for service software industry and the biggest employment generator. If I'm not wrong, we should be employing 15 to 20 lakh people. Most of the people who join the industry and who work in terms of computer engineering or who works in terms of computer applications, they probably, if you this, and most of people are jumping into it. Like I also tried my hands in statistics and all. And what I will tell you is, if you are a brilliant mind in terms of mathematics and you have your fundamentals of probability very clear, you are sure about distributions, you are sure about regression equations, you are sure about building models. So there, this is not a easy, I will not use the word easy, but it's a challenging field. What all professors are doing, that requires really a long term of dedication. But what I will want to talk about in terms of how delivery organizations, rather the service delivery organizations, use the data. We understand right now that we have data from everybody, right? Everybody is having a smartphone in India. I think still there is penetration being left, and every second I don't know, zeta or petabytes of data being created and being used. There's a commercial use to it. But what about the delivery data? What about the data generated within these service organizations who are competing for work, who are generating employment? How do the data help that? Everybody in the organization who are taking care of a single developer, how fast he is coding, how many bugs are getting produced, that data is pretty relevant. And when anybody who joins a team, a new team, and apart from his coding skills, he has a purview into all these skills, it's an added advantage for the team. Because when somebody comes to them and tells them, okay, we have got this project and you have to deliver it in next 4 months or 3 months or 2 months, or let's say 15 days. And then why? What was the criteria for determination of delivering it into 15 days? And when you get work from the market, it is based on the RFPs. The client will float an RFP. I need this work to be done. This is my problem. And I'm telling you, clients are very intelligent these days. Everybody is having their own set of teams, and they will come back with a problem statement, and services companies will go out and deliver it. But which service provider they should select, right? So for that, they float an RFP. What happens is you go with a solution may be fantastic, but everything boils down to cost and schedule, right? To arrive at that fundamental number, because everything boils down to a number in delivery. the organizations are starting to get hold of their delivery data. They are putting matrices around different aspects of SDLC. And one more thing, everything is not going to be agile, right? Agile is not a silver bullet. There are still projects which have a proper testing, analysis, development, testing, go live cycles. Everything is not fast fail. So there are variations to it. But the point I'm trying to drive here is that that data is also important. What is being generated by a coder, by a tester, because in terms of application development, cost and schedule, I have told you. But in terms of application maintenance projects, right? The client will come and say, I am giving you a maintenance project and I need a 100% SLA, that there should not be any severity one. And if there is a severity one there and you are not able to solve it within the time frame, there is a penalty. So how do you decide as an organization that, okay, can I accept 100% SLA? Can I do that? And what should be my resolution time? What should be my response time? From where do you get this data? So these are some pertinent questions which are being floated around in the delivery organization. And uh, the clients are not like that they will give you work and then come back and say, okay, a severity one incident happened and you are not able to resolve it in 5 hours, my business is impacted. There's a huge cost to it. So we should try to see that not only from a commercial perspective of a Amazon or a phone service provider, there are internal service delivery data which really need to be understood, tracked, posted, and insights should be driven from them. And organizations are thoroughly doing it. And in terms of what way is going on, all this data science and all that, is we want to be more predictable, right? What we want to do is not the post-mortem. When I want to go to my client or to anybody talk, this is what I can deliver. This is something called as a cockpit view. So those data are also important. But to capture that data, what I think Satish Rai sir was explaining, to capture that data, format that data, and put it into right perspective is quite critical. And what all has been covered by speakers are really fantastic terms. But for people to start and look at, I mean, at a small level or a small company, they should start putting on to what we call as their performance baselines, right? So you know what is your baseline value. You know what you can produce in, if 4 of your programmers work, what number of lines of code you can produce. So with that, what I'm leading to is the estimations. So some organizations I know, they have fantastic estimators, right? So when some work comes to you, the client would like to know in how many days you will be able to give it. And there are multiple competitors. TCS is bidding, Accenture is bidding, everybody is there. So you need to have a mechanism where you are able to estimate the work. So data plays an important role. And those prediction models are part of all this gambit of working on RFPs, getting estimates done, and providing a cost and time to the client. So that data is important from that perspective also. And what I wanted to elaborate more on is that data science we have understood, right? It is an amalgamation of mathematics, statistics, computer science, machine learning, AI, everything is involved. So from a career perspective, you see, data scientists are people who are really experienced, who have a really scientific bent of mind, who can go into research, who can create things. And but there is another aspect to it, which the people who analyze this data, data analysts. So they have a huge potential in current IT industry, and they can use what is being created by data scientists. And the other part is data visualization. You can learn a lot of tools and create visualizations for leadership to see and to get to a decision point. So within a service delivery organization, these are some key data point aspects which are being looked at and emphasized upon. So this is in terms of service delivery organizations. So anybody has any questions?
If anybody is having question, they can put it in the chat.
So what I would, I mean, I'm not able to see the chat window. So the point is that, yes, all this is very good, very fantastic. I mean, you can read facial expressions, you can do a lot of things, but you should also keep in mind as to where to put your energy. As I think Kartar Singh sir was saying, that don't try to do everything, right? That is a key aspect of it. Try to see what are your capabilities, right? Accordingly, you can enter into this world of data science and data analytics. So let it be a part of your overall, what I shall say, uh, armor. And if you are good at coding C, I will say you keep on doing that, but add on this skill. To start with, you can start using XLS for that. Excel is a fantastic tool for data analysis. I mean, whatever complex functions are there, they're already written, done by a scientist. What you have to do is you have to use them. You can use R to do that, you can use Python to do that. And the other aspect is you should understand where I will use a Poisson distribution, where I should use a binomial distribution. If even you harness those skills from a starting perspective, that will give you a very good leverage. You will be an asset to any team you go to, right? So for fundamentals to start with, you can start with Excel, you can start looking at R, you can start, and from a statistical perspective, keep a view, keep an understanding. But if you want to create your own models, own solutions, it is time taking process. So that is something which everybody should keep in mind. And there are a lot of courses available. Everybody is selling data science course, Udemy, Coursera, and all that, and people start doing that. And after a point in time, they say, oh, it's difficult, it's difficult. You choose, first you study, choose, and then move ahead. And mind, I mean, keep it as part of your resume, keep it as part of your conversation when you're talking to, that this is an additional skill I own and I can asset to any team I join. So this is where I would like to end. And because it's already, I don't know, the time is around 1:30. Yeah, it's 1:20 and it's past lunchtime. So if there are any questions or any other views which you would like to discuss, I would happily answer that, or probably we can discuss that.